right click all control, and then all controls. And then it should come up on the bottom.
There it is.
Okay.
There, we are live.
Welcome, folks. Thursday, June 5th's workshop.
Wait, we're looking at Monday, June 7th?
Oh, did I put instead of July?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, you did.
Okay, I'll go back in.
Yeah.
Addendum. Addendum, shoot. Okay,
Just gonna check that they can hear us.
okay. Yeah, you know, so, because we can't see, like, people's responses,
Yeah.
sometimes I bring it up so I can.
Yep.
Yep.
They can hear us.
Okay. Reply, oh,
You can let me know Monday, Jen, if you have anything on the minutes.
okay, I'm adding them to Aaron's list, and then, maybe more on Monday. Okay, I just sent that off. Add event.
Okay. So we did get one message in the roads email box that I forwarded to Maya.
Okay,
The Hussey Road one.
okay.
Reaching out because Hussey Road is in need of new gravel and some grading.
It's funny, because I know they've been doing that. They've been doing grading everywhere.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know if they just missed it or if it just needs to be redone. I know
Yeah.
it's been raining a lot, so
Yeah.
it could just be a washout situation. But I sent it to Maya, so hopefully get over there and take a look.
Is there anything that we can look at before Danielle makes it back? In terms of...
I don't know.
Oh, you know, I haven't looked for a mileage form that we could print out for Dave Lonsby. He asked us to give him something.
You can just do an Excel spreadsheet.
We could.
Yeah, look, there's a bunch of like free templates out there that we could, if we wanted to, like manipulate one into what we want.
You don't know if Keith Logan came in, Debbie, do you? Over the last few days, couple of days? No?
haven't seen him.
I should go look and see if it's, sometimes he just comes in, takes care of it, and leaves again.
Oh.
We have never know.
He hasn't been in there today.
No?
No.
Deb, I'm just looking at the minutes from June 2nd, and the town office is gonna be closed on the 19th of June,
Yeah.
not the 10th. You'd
That's
you know
okay.
that, okay. Thanks, thanks. We okay with land share coming in, not tomorrow? No, not today, next Thursday?
Yep.
I don't see anything, yeah. Deb, if you wanna email them that, maybe you did already.
I'm sorry, what?
Land share writers, if they wanna come in next week instead?
Yep.
Oh, man, the next round of community action grants are up, but we can't, we won't be able to take advantage of it. Wow, and they're allowing $75,000 again. What are you gonna do with the tidbit from tax school? Death? Did you read that from Bob Consul? It came in Wednesday.
I didn't get it.
Oh. You know, well, why wouldn't you have gotten it? Oh yeah, I'll just forward it to you it's a tidbit from property tax school on transfer on death. On deeds that avoids probate. I'll forward it to him. Maybe he didn't have your email. Debbie, you haven't gotten any requests from Long Pond, have you, for their, nope. So, let's see, Scott Mountain, Silver Therapeutics knows, Trevor knows. What about, did we formally, let, 04047 know that we were gonna be reviewing them? I'm sure he does know, but,
I mean, they're not required to be here.
Right.
We're just completeness. So we're either gonna determine complete or not,
right,
whether they're here or not.
right.
That's all we need to do on Monday.
Okay,
It's not we're not checking if it's a valid,
yeah,
just use the license, for example. So they gave us a license. All we care is that there's one in the application.
right. And I say we use the checklist.
And then that's it.
Yeah.
We'll just go down the checklist.
Yeah.
This is what we need. Do they have this? This is what we need. Do they have this?
Yeah.
And then
I couldn't find the checklist on the website.
it should be there under forms. I believe. Unless it gets it somewhere else. Yep. Forms is the very first thing.
Oh, okay. It's the combined, that's why. I see business application and then fee schedule and then, no, I don't have that. It only says application and fee schedule,
Where are you?
under forms.
You went government forms?
Yeah. I see,
The very first thing says cannabis business application.
but there's no checklist with it.
Wow.
I have it on file as combined.
Yeah, I thought. Do I have their own file saved?
Yep, actually this one, yeah, because the combined one has an application with it as well. And the fee schedule, isn't that already? The fee schedule should be separate, I think. Let me go back.
And the fee schedule is under ordinances and policies. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I can, do you have that? If not, I'll just send
If
it.
you want to forward it, yeah,
Okay.
I'll put it at the top of my email.
Okay.
Make it a little easier.
Okay.
Forms. Edit. Files. update the bottom to say select board.
Okay.
Let's print PDF.
How were your peach trees? Did you get blossoms on them?
I didn't notice any.
Hmm.
Me and Cher got the message.
Okay. Have you seen like the Facebook postings about people seeing like dead things along Province Lake on 153? You haven't seen
No.
that?
What kind of dead things?
Like rats and I don't know, it was fish, maybe a couple of ducks or something. Like they've been washing up on shore. I was thinking
Right.
it's kind of gross.
Someone needs to call the game wardens.
Well, I think they have, but they're wondering if it's. Well, they had a bloom of something bad in the lake last year, and
That's the one from last year too, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
No. Saco River Corridor Commission doesn't have anything. Do they do water tests there?
No,
No.
No.
Okay.
yeah.
Who does a water test there?
So,
Is
in
it
New
Long
Hampshire.
Pond Group?
Nope, New Hampshire does it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
How is
Yes,
it gonna work with these applications that are coming to you guys? Do they have to go to Danielle and have them signed first and then come to you guys, or do they come right to you with the application for you guys to receive it?
What are you talking about? The
The
cannabis
cannabis, yeah.
applications? The application itself according to the ordinance, they go to, they pay the application fee to Danielle,
Yeah.
and then, it gets,
So
I actually have a.
It's gotta go to Danielle first anyway.
Yep, that's what they've been doing. I
Okay.
have a file. Is this a brand new one?
Yeah, well, it's announces they're gonna be coming in.
I thought they handed in everything,
Did they?
as far as I know.
Well, then it's incomplete, because they still need a letter from me. So I'm gonna give them the letter tonight.
Yep.
So-
And so they've already filled out, I think, what you're
And they
talking
needed
about.
Jeff Gutel's letter too.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, applications for license required by this ordinance shall be procured from the town clerk, completed and signed by the applicant, and filed with the town clerk.
Okay, so nothing has to come to me.
No,
Okay, good.
No.
No.
Right.
if they're doing the site plan, that comes to you.
Yeah, right.
But if they're, for this particular thing, they have to file it with Danielle, she gives it to us, we mark it as complete, and then we'll schedule the public hearing.
There's only one application that we're actually missing in our arsenal now. I looked through my subdivision book looking for it. Desiree said it's there to use some other application, but it's the sketch plan review application,
Okay,
which we need to find.
sketch plan.
Everybody is wanting to do site plan review as the sketch plan. Well, that's way too in-depth for just a sketch plan. It's the preliminary meeting for a subdivision.
Okay.
Didn't we just have one of those on North Road? Didn't they do a sketch plan?
They did the whole subdivision application
Oh, they did.
and paid for the whole thing.
Okay. I know they
Which
had
we
the
were
sketch
way
plan.
overcharged and they
Yeah.
haven't come back. But this next one that's coming in,
Mm.
he did a site plan review because there is no sketch plan available.
Hmm. I've never seen it come up.
It should have.
Yeah.
Like when Nate Wadsworth did it, it was all site plan review. And then it went to subdivision application.
Hmm. But never did a sketch
Nobody
plan.
ever caught on to what was the sketch plan review
Uh-huh.
supposed to be. It's in our ordinance as a sketch plan review.
Oh, okay. That's what I was going to look up next.
Right.
So the planning board needs to adopt an application for that.
Just for the sketch plan review. It has to say sketch plan review
Yep.
on it.
Yeah,
And then
so.
we don't have anything that says that.
Yeah. So get Desiree to add that to their meeting on next week?
Yeah.
No, 2 weeks.
Okay.
And then if you've got one, like if you've got a standard
I looked for a
boilerplate.
template to one
Yeah.
and I couldn't find one.
Okay,
I reached out to Limerick, he's gonna email me theirs.
perfect.
But theirs is set up differently because they
Right.
don't have a growth ordinance yet. But because of Lake Arrowhead is the largest subdivision in southern Maine.
Yep. Oh, yes.
So,
All right. Yeah, but
They
they,
opted out of doing a growth ordinance,
correct.
just for you guys to know.
They
They
Limerick?
opted out of doing a growth ordinance and went to impact fees. They're writing an ordinance so that they have 10 years to spend the impact fees however they see necessary for road maintenance, plowing, and rubbish removal.
Yeah, Wyndham does that.
Yeah.
I know our comp
So
plan
the
addressed.
state wants
Yep.
to know how we spend our impact fees, and they watch it from all the research that I did on it.
Yep.
Quite a while ago. You have to spend the money, but if you have it in our ordinance where it gives you 10 years to spend it, it could go towards plowing, it could go towards rubbish, whenever there's an increase.
Mm.
We should look at impact fees.
I know the comp plan talks about it, talks about proposing that, also talks about limiting.
Lake Arrowhead charges $5,000 impact fee. Limerick is going to do a $3,000 impact fee for new dwellings, not to affect subdivisions. That would be an overburden on a subdivision. Because if you did that, there would, only so many permits can go out.
Well, we've had requests
They
for
wanted to put a cap on it.
we've had,
And with impact fees, you can do that.
yeah. Yeah, I'd like to see something on our annual town warrant that addresses that.
Should have said it for a few years now.
I think a lot of people have said it, but then I know that one of those residents worked on it and was given a lot of pushback and,
It would be.
Yep.
It would be. You think you're driving people out of town, but what they don't realize is they don't see that every year, Mr. Mellon comes in and ups his price because there's another stop that he needs to make, or the trash is getting heavier because there's 10 more stops out of the town that he needs to make. That's an impact and a hardship on our town.
oh, for sure.
And then there's another mailbox out there for the mail lady to stop at. There's another curb cut. There's 10 more vehicles. That's what goes towards impact fees.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's been definitely brought up on both. I'm looking at this Sebago Technics Town of Parsonsfield sketch plan application is what they submitted.
That's what they submitted.
Yeah. But it might have been their own.
It was. They still paid, look at how much they paid. They paid $250 per lot. They paid the whole subdivision fee.
Oh,
Sketch plan application shouldn't be more than $250. It's a primitive drawing that can be hand drawn. Just an idea of what it could look like. And then when it goes to the subdivision application, that's when you need 2 test pits per site. That's when all the watershed survey, all that other stuff comes into play.
Hmm.
Just something to look into and think about. Food for thought.
Yeah, so I was looking at the accounts. 16, 20, 20-16 and 20-17 accounts.
Let me get out of this and get into Trio.
Yeah. It's the utilities and maintenance and the Fred Morrill accounts. They're voted on combined budget of $32,570.
Is that the one we were looking at before? When talking about moving money or?
Which one are you
This
looking
is-
at? Whoop, sorry, what?
20-16,
Yeah,
utilities and maintenance.
yeah,
20-17, Fred Morrill.
yeah.
And then, so those are voted on together.
Yep, last year it was called Utilities in Town Buildings.
Yes, yes, how I had set it up was, we had the utilities, different locations, like the electricity
Yep.
for Old Town House.
Yep. That's all under
Road,
16.
All that, and then, I was trying to keep a cost just for Fred Morrill, so you could see what it was cost
Yeah,
to operate. But
yeah.
I know Danielle wants to move some things around, but
Yeah, those two accounts, the approved budget is 32,570, and we have actually spent 32,636, or over by like $67. And we still get CMP bills coming later.
Yeah.
And so I sent an email to Danielle to double check, but I think we should move the cleaning contract under general maintenance, which is 20-19,
Okay,
which has $6,000 available. And that would free up funds to pay CMP and not worry about going over there. And we'd have plenty of money in that municipal building general account.
yeah, doesn't it make sense to put cleaning under general maintenance?
I would,
Mm.
yeah. More of a maintenance activity, I guess. We gotta figure out some of the definitions there a little better,
Mm-hmm.
because that municipal building general maintenance seems,
Where do you get the total cleaning is 6,000?
no, the total available in 19 is 6,000.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Cleaning was, I think, 3,600.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you move that, you get obviously that 3,500 in room in that 16/17. So so I sent that to her to see if it makes sense, and then we can vote on it on Monday.
Okay,
Um,
16, 17.
there's money available in technology, which I think we should spend before the end of the year based on our recommendation from Chris.
Uh-huh. 16, 17.
And so I got
So-
his recommendations together, and I've been picking his brain on what we can get for computers to replace the ones he's recommending.
Expense report. Let me go back. I
I
think
know,
I'm in.
I'm jumping all over the place.
I was
so-
gonna say, but I'm also in the wrong year, so.
Oh.
Yeah. Are you in 23, 24?
Nope,
24,
current
25.
year.
Okay.
Current.
That's what I was, so then I went to, 16, 17. Utilities and maintenance.
Yep. Yeah, so 16 and 17 are voted on together.
Okay, I'm just looking to see what, I'm just dropping it down even further to see.
Yep.
Secocas, Maplewood, Bridge Street, Lifetown, okay. 17. Because what I see here is the current budget is 32,000 under 16,
Yeah,
and then unexpended balance is the same?
30,121.
yeah. It's just because the budget in Trio is put in, it's not one for one.
And then I'm not even can't even scroll it over to the other side here.
Yeah.
Why not? Why can I not do that? So under Fred Morrow, when it has cleaning,
Yep.
3660, and then it has, let me go back, 3660, and then we have,
The 3660 is something that David added at the last moment, I believe, to the budget. When we go look on the budget works.
No, the 3660 is what was paid.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what we've expended. And so we'll get charged again for that.
Because it says unexpended balance, okay, because it's been paid, that's why it's negative.
Yeah,
And then total cleaning, what is the 160? Where did that come from? Total cleaning.
It's just a total of what the cleaning line
Yeah.
is.
it's, again, there's the account issue that I talked about.
Okay.
with There being so many accounts
Okay.
In Tria?
Uh-huh.
you've got two different clean, I don't know if Total Cleaning is the name of a vendor. I don't know what it is.
I don't, is it a name of a vendor, total?
No, it's a sub-account of the cleaning line. You got cleaning and then it got a sub-account underneath it. I
Well,
don't know why, but it's a sub-account.
Yeah, you've got
underneath it.
cleaning service, 20, is 5205,
Mm-hmm.
and then 5206 is Total
Total
Cleaning.
cleaning.
Huh.
So I don't know. So again, it's just, I think they're,
There's only one company that charges to that.
right,
Yeah. Was Delsey, now it's this new girl. so.
yeah. But yeah, so I think we should move cleaning to 19, and that'll fix any potential issue we have where we're paying CMP bills later this month.
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously we gotta get that on.
Yeah, because the cleaning was only at Fred Morrell, so that's why it's in Fred Morrell.
Oh yeah, I get why
Yeah.
it's there.
Yeah.
It's just we gotta make it work for
Yeah.
what we got. And then yeah, there's some reserves that need to get moved,
Yeah,
which I know that she knows.
yeah. I don't know, if it gets to 3:30, you might want to call her and tell her not to stress. I guarantee you she's stressing right now bad. Oh, is she back?
I don't know. I thought she was just taking her mom home.
Maybe she's back, I didn't realize she was back.
She could be.
I need to go to Jim's check.
Okay, combine the salt sand, so that one's good. That one's under.
Yep, she is here.
How'd that go?
Okay. Yeah, just one of those things, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Of course, it's it's 98 degrees out, so.
Yeah.
Like the band.
Huh?
Like the band.
Like the band, right?
Yep. Nick Lachey.
Yes. And,
We were just talking accounts.
Oh, good.
I was walking through what I had emailed you.
Great.
So, I thought I heard you say something about combining the salt sheds,
So the two salt ones are,
5,200 and,
there's a salt one and a sand one account.
okay,
And so, but there's only a budget under salt, so I was just double checking it to make sure. We're 1,600 under, 1,653.49 under for that one, so we're good on that one.
okay.
So nothing needs to be done there. Those are the only combined. And then the technology one, we're 3,400 under, which is where we're gonna get the money for the
The
computers.
computers.
So yeah, so we're looking good there. I just wanna make sure we're spending budgeted monies now so that it doesn't just roll into the general fund.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're sort of in a position where our general fund is very healthy and we don't need that to happen. We don't,
Yeah.
we're not in a position where our general fund is depleted and we need to roll as much as we can, save as much as we can.
Mm-hmm.
So it's gonna give us a good idea of some areas where we can save
Are you sitting there?
for next year's budget.
Yeah,
Well,
that's,
Because there's some accounts
Oh, I
that
don't
are
care. I'm just-
wildly over budget.
Yeah, I'll sit over here.
interesting,
Yeah.
Kill you.
Oh, transfer sheet.
because there's monies, a lot of money in them.
A lot of money
Okay.
that just wasn't,
Yep.
like, good one to look at is tax acquired property.
Transfer
Uh-huh.
sheet.
We haven't spent money out of that account
Transfer sheet.
or haven't had an expense in that account in the last 3 years, but we've had a budget of 5,000 every year.
Okay.
Yeah,
Should I
okay.
So there's
staple it
15
together?
grand that we're charging people and we've never spent a dime out of it, it just kind of rolls.
Huh, I'm surprised we haven't spent that like maybe 3 years ago on some tax-acquired property,
Right.
whatever, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and so, you know, the argument there is you can move it and you can create it in unanticipated, so that, you know, you can move it and work the numbers there. But yeah, you've got a lot of them that are. Eco Maine, have we paid for May yet?
Excuse me?
Eco Maine, did we pay for May yet?
No, I think she just got that one.
The one
Okay.
you just forwarded to me has already been paid.
Oh, okay.
The individual ones has already been paid, I just said,
Invoice that you just sent was paid a while ago.
Because, yeah, that account's got 20 grand in it.
I hate it when they email invoices.
You can turn the camera on for you, so the laptop's, the camera's on you.
Oh, no thanks.
That way everybody knows it's you.
Nope.
No?
Nope. Alright, I'm gonna start with these two. These are gonna kind of go side by side. Kind of.
Hold on. The first
Two
two?
big ones.
The first, oh, the two big ones, gotcha.
Two big ones, side by side, a side by side?
Side by side? Side by side.
No, they're coming next Thursday.
Yes. Alright, so this sheet is the transfer sheet. This is the master transfer sheet
Okay,
explaining, Debbie came up with like 3 or 4 pages of different things. I had a list, and this is Debbie's stuff that matched mine and my list. There are some things that I couldn't match up that are later. So these are the ones that I could kind of confirm that I'd like to talk about first. September 2022 at the top, Article 36, we have to transfer $20,000 from the Bartlett Doe Reserve to offset basically education, right? That's what it's for?
yes.
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 What account does that go into?
There's a revenue account for that
For
Bartlett
Bartlett
Doe.
Doe,
But
okay.
Which account is, you get money every month for? Is that Bartlett Doe, or it's one of those accounts you get?
That goes into the reserve, yes, $1,800 per month.
Yeah, is that Bartlett Doe?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
So for 3 years, that hasn't been done. So we've got a total of 60 grand. If you add all these up, that has to go from Bartlett Doe Reserve into the revenue.
okay.
Okay, does that make sense to everybody?
Yes.
Okay.
So we're jumping down to, and I've got the fiscal year here, so we're going back to September of 2023 town meeting. This is the remainder of, and this is, Debbie caught this, the cemetery reserve. This was the balance that was left over from the cemetery expenses, and that's going to create a new reserve. It's going to be a new cemetery reserve. We already have a cemetery reserve, but that's basically all kinds of little cemeteries into one. It's an old cemetery reserve account.
But-
This is gonna create a new cemetery reserve account.
Okay, are these the individual cemeteries that are,
Yeah.
okay,
This is separate.
okay,
So this is the funds that haven't been expensed, just like the roads, it's gonna roll into a new cemetery reserve. So we have to make that reserve out of the checking into the reserve account.
Got it.
Danielle, I have $4,699.53 for the cemetery.
Okay, so this one, and this is where we disagreed,
Yeah,
kind of.
yeah.
So this is 23-24. This was the first year the article was in the town report. So it applied to that article passed that year. So,
Yeah, passed for the budget of 23-24.
see, I read it as for that expense that just was finished to carry over.
Yeah, and I took it as, because it was
Okay,
only
so this is the
approved
stuff we need to talk about.
in September. It's the wording.
I can go get my town report.
I'm grabbing it right here.
Okay, so if you go to
Get the,
2023, Article 28.
Yeah.
To see if the town will vote to roll over unexpected cemetery funds, mowing and care of veterans' graves, cemetery repairs, into a cemetery maintenance reserve fund, new reserve account. This fund would be utilized along with newly approved fiscal funds to perform work on ceremonies. This article will remain in effect until rescinded by a town meeting.
And I took it to be 23, 24 because of the date.
Roll over, will vote
Just
to
in the town will
roll
vote to
over
roll over
unexpected
on-
cemetery funds
And that was voted on.
into a
September.
cemetery maintenance
So is that from
reserve
September
fund.
moving forward, or does that apply to the funds that just got closed out that year?
Doesn't rollover mean that funds that were there already, so?
No.
Yes, it does, but what the question is it the cemetery funds that just were closed out? That's how it works.
I believe the intent was for 23, 24, not for that balance before. Because it wasn't voted on until September and the 22, 23 budget's already closed, it's gone. That article should have been approved the prior year if you wanted that money.
Goes to
The town
roll
will
over unexpected cemetery funds
Okay,
into a cemetery.
Unexpended.
so this is how it looks, Jim.
Hmm.
So this is
23.
23.
Okay, that's what I got here too.
So if you go to Article 28, you see
Yep.
the thing. So our question is, so if you go to Deb's finance sheet,
Page 57.
page 57, cemetery expenses. So this is closed out of 23. There is $4,787.42 left over. Since that article passed in September, does that mean that that leftover starts the reserve?
That's what I would say.
That's what I
The
think too.
4,000?
But
Yeah.
she doesn't.
I disagree, but that's up to you guys what you want to do, because the article wasn't voted until September, and it does not say to take the prior year remaining balance. And
But it
the-
says rollover unexpended.
Which is this.
Hey, it was voted on in September, so
Right.
whatever's left in that budget, 23, 24, then that's what's rolled over. I mean, that's been the practice from the get-go, but I can see where there's questions, but.
Does it become a legal issue?
Well,
Well, you're
You look
moving
at
it,
all
you're
the
moving it
other
from the general, at
articles.
this point, you're moving it from the general fund
Into a new
into a new cemetery reserve.
reserve account.
right,
See if the town will vote to roll over unexpected cemetery funds.
Unexpended.
if that's the case, what Danielle is suggesting, and I'm not saying she's wrong, but if that's the case, then that means all the reserves in the past 15 years has been incorrect.
Which we're not going back.
Because it hasn't gone back to the year before.
We can just,
Well, the other reserves aren't rollovers, the others are,
right.
the others are articles.
The only other rollover reserve is the roads.
They used to choose the word rollover. It should be to transfer unexpended funds. That's how it really should have been, not rollover. It's the same thing.
Well, that's the rollover, the only part is the rollover unexpected cemetery funds. That leads me more to historical versus if it was to roll over future unexpected, that's the word they're missing there.
Right,
Why
right. I
doesn't it
agree
have
with you that it,
It should refer back to the prior budget year if you want that other budget year. Because every
Fire here.
use of reserve is,
Need more room.
it's the year it's voted on, that is the year, unless it specifically states that it's for a prior year.
But this is creating a new reserve versus
That's right.
a budget item.
Yep, that's
It's not
right.
every other reserve is a line item.
So she's saying it doesn't.
This is
include-
new, the cemetery is a new
Right.
reserve. Yeah, but you don't go back and collect what was prior. I mean, you've got.
it doesn't say not to.
But this says the town will vote to roll over unexpended cemetery funds into a cemetery maintenance reserve fund.
And what year was that voted on? What budget year is that voted on?
Well, that's the thing, is it's not,
Voted on for
it's
23, 24.
Yeah, so she's saying.
well, it's voted on in September, so
But
it's,
it's for the budget 23, 24.
24 fiscal year.
Right, so what you're saying is that if it's voted on for the budget year of 23-24,
Right.
then the unexpended balance of, $4,787 goes into general fund,
It's
because that was the
already-
year before.
Been closed out and wiped out, I guess.
That's been closed out and wiped out?
Yes.
Okay,
And once you close out, it goes in, it's supposed to go right into the general fund.
yep.
Yeah.
I went back and forth with it, so when I kept reading it and then, but maybe
Oh, I
that's.
can see why you'd be confused.
Do we wanna strike that out and just start, since, like she said, this warrant is 23-24?
Mm-hmm,
And that's 4,699.53.
well, in your report here, it says 4,787.42.
For,
right,
no,
that's
no,
the
no,
one, that's what
no,
you're
the
striking.
figure I just gave is for 23, 24. The
Yeah,
figure
we're not.
that-
we're not
Okay,
yet
I'm looking
at-
at
so we're not
22,
at that one
okay.
It's
yet.
the prior year.
Oh, we're not
Okay.
at that one
Yeah.
yet, so,
Yeah.
I don't know, it goes back and forth, but I can see it both ways.
I can see it both ways also, but I'm almost thinking that because it's a vote for the budget for the 23-24 year, that we have to do it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect, that's what I want to talk
Okay,
it out. So
that's what
that
I-
make- Is that okay with you, Aaron, or
Yeah.
what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I'd
We're
be
voting on
interested to
the,
hear what was the discussion around it at the
Right.
town meeting, just because,
But if you
there might
figure
not have been any.
Jen,
well, there might not have
Yeah.
been, but.
Money had been left, a lot of money had been left over all the prior years, and that's why they
but those are
decided.
dedicated for certain cemeteries.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
like though, that's a whole nother
Yeah.
ballgame,
Yeah.
and that just sits there doing nothing.
So June 30th, we figure clean slate reset. Okay, so let's strike that one out.
Okay,
That makes sense. Okay. Okay, next line item, 40 grand from Bartlettville Reserve into the revenue, just like the above. Two ARPA transfers. Article 45.
from 23 again, okay.
This is why I left it blank.
Yeah.
Because, and actually I got two line items. It says basically one line for me and one line for Deb. I'd like to go back to that because that's gonna come later. That's basically what needs to be transferred to the roads, and we disagree on that, so I'd like to talk about that later.
Okay.
The rest of them. So 23-24, there's really no article, but, in talking with Deb, what we had done in 23 is we transferred, and it's in the reserve sheet, $140,000 and $149,7787 was transferred from general fund from road reserve into roads. That got reversed in the trio, and Debbie entered $210,880.91. So, we need to make up for that difference if that's what we're going on. I don't understand it, Debbie does. I just need some sort of agreement that we're gonna get to that 210, and I was hoping Deb was gonna explain it a little bit more.
At the time when the 140, it was discovered that there was $46,000 that hadn't been, hold on, let me get on the roads.
The 140 has been done in the bank.
It hasn't been?
It has been done.
It has been,
It was done in
okay.
trio and it was done in the bank.
Yeah, and I brought over a sheet to you, which has not been done, was 46,000, which would bring it up to 210,000.
No,
Nope.
69,903 would bring it up to 210,000. That's why I was confused.
$46,467.30 was what was on that balance sheet.
But
And the balance at 22-23 was 164,413.61. You probably have interest in now.
it's got nothing to do with interest.
So that's how I came up with 210,880.91.
So what was,
Where was this 46,000?
I had put in 140,997.87, and it should have been, this was an error that occurred back in 21-22. Or either I got my dates wrong. I initially put 149.97.87, discovered that $4,067.30 should have also been included with that 140. And that brings the 164,413, the prior year ending balance reserve, and adding the 46,467.30 to it brings it to 210,880.91.
Where are you getting your numbers? They're not votes. So where are the
From
numbers coming from?
expenditures. Did you get my, road?
Yep, so this is
Yeah.
Deb's road worksheet. This is what she's referring to.
Okay.
This one.
I can print it out if you don't
No,
want
it's
it.
right here, they all got a copy. So-
Yeah, okay.
So Debbie and I went through and we match all the way up to 21-22 when it says reserve available 115,201.82.
Uh-huh,
That's the last number we match.
okay.
The 71,931.27 was identified years ago, but that transfer was never done in the bank. So we reviewed this when Ed was on the board, and it was determined not to do that transfer because there was no support for it. So that's where we started differing on numbers.
No support. There's plenty of support to show that.
We all talked about it as a group when Ed was on the board, and everybody agreed not to do it. And I have a sheet of them signing off not to do it.
Okay, that's fine, but it,
So it never got done, so that's where we stopped. And that's when the balance was way off. And because then you continue, and then that brought it to
Well,
187, and then it says, use of reserve 140, that was never done either.
we had the 115,201.82. The difference between what the budget was and then what the expense is the 71,931.27. That's where that figure came from. Added to the 115 brings it up to the 187.
You're adding that as a deposit, correct? And that deposit was agreed to not be done.
Right, well, that's what you're saying, but I'm just telling you that I have that on my
Oh,
sheet, so.
I know, we
I
just,
didn't know that they said not to do it.
it's either we do it or we don't.
Oh,
We got a balance here, or agree
Okay.
for something, but we gotta get through this.
And you have more supporting evidence that said, don't do it. Is
I've
that
got a
what
sign-off sheet that said.
You do?
When we identified all the things that were done and not done and everything, we all met as a group and went through every single one. And there was a to-do pile and a not-to-do pile, and that is very much in red and signed off as not to do. So, if this board wants to say yes, fine, but,
want me to show you, I'll show you Monday how the 71 came up.
okay. We got to,
I mean, I don't think that they
Finalize
can
this.
say, I was gonna say, they can't say, don't do it, and then we change that.
right,
Right, I say, don't do it. If that's what you have,
so the problem is this is Trio, this is the real bank account.
okay,
This figure matches the bank statement. So we have to do stuff in the bank to make sure Trio merges with this.
Right.
Trio is so far off this bank statement, it's not even funny. So this is what I'm trying to do. I am trying to reconcile Trio with this bank statement. And I need to understand what we agree on and what we don't. So we can have a final number, get this thing transferred over into Trio so this never happens again.
so it's in one
So-
place that,
When we do it in Trio, it gets done in the bank. There was a lot that was done in Trio that didn't get done in the bank, and this is where we really lost where we
Well,
were.
yeah.
And this has been 5 years back. So we gotta come to an agreement here, and maybe it's not today, but we've really gotta figure this out.
And none of us were on the board at the time, right?
5 years
Not-
ago, none of us were
Not
here.
even David, right?
Yeah, and I
right.
don't recall them
Right.
saying not to do it.
But Danielle has a piece of paper
We
with that.
revisited everything
Yep.
and brought it back up and saying, okay, let's look at this, what needs to be done. I've got it in my room if we need to go that far.
Well, I can show you where that 71 came to. Does the board want to look at it or just forget it? Because right now, if that's the case, then that reduces the reserve that was
Yeah.
supposed to be transferred to, for 23, 24. It
That's-
reduces that 210,000 by $72,000. So that means another $72,000 is going to be needed.
If we want to just put a big question mark on that, so we can get through the
What-
other ones, I don't know, it just,
Off the top of your head, Deb, where are you saying it comes from?
The budget and what the expenditures was and what's remaining.
and that's the problem, there's no vote to support that figure.
Except for the
What
piece of
she's
paper
explaining,
that you have.
expenditures and it's
Yep.
the budget and expenditures, which, that's no vote, so I don't know what kind of adjustment we do.
I mean, we can wait on it, but I'm
Yeah.
saying if you have a piece of paper that's been signed and says, leave it,
I have
don't do
this for
it.
that fiscal year, and that 71 figure is in red. And it's years back,
Okay,
so I can get you that back up. Okay, so I'm gonna skip that. Rescue reserve, I don't quite understand, we need to talk about that more. Deb says it's not rescue, it's streetlights, it's in a
Yeah.
revenue, I don't understand where that's going, so that's for another day. Comp plan reserve, Debbie's got, on this one here is her comp plan reserve, here
okay,
in the sheet,
yep,
this square.
uh-huh.
Yep.
I've got a big question mark, maybe she can explain it, I don't know where to go with that, so.
I don't know which sheet I'm looking for.
This one, your sheet at the very
Oh,
bottom,
right here. Yeah.
it says from reserve to general fund, or there's a either or scenario, so I was
Oh,
hoping you
the
could
wrong
explain
one,
it.
sorry. Well, I don't know. If the 12/12/23 transfer was done, 1,767.33. That's what, that bottom thing, that's what that's, ifs and buts, because I didn't know. Yeah.
What did we vote in for the land budget? Not this past,
$2,000.
not this past year, like the $1,000 you're talking about
Oh,
that?
this past year was 1,000.
Right, but I'm talking about even previous to that, what? Like
So I have
20,
one of these big sheets for each year. So the question is, what, 17, what year was this, that was supposed to be done?
12/12/23.
so this is, that would be 23, 24.
22.
Is there any comp plan article?
21. Now they had all the printouts, it's on my computer. Printed it awesome.
Unpaid.
turn that down, it's not turning down.
Oh, wow, so. 23, 24. So does the search function work if you pull up like the 22, 23 annual report and you can search in that for comp plan?
I don't know if
Okay,
I don't know if it's saved, but
okay, I'll just go through, I'll look this way.
if
So
you,
only $1,000 was deposited into comp plan on 5/16/24. What else were we looking at? There's no 1767. So I don't know. We'll have to, I guess.
I think that we need a day workshop, a day-long
That's
workshop.
fine. Yeah, we're running out of time again anyway, so we gotta do something.
Yeah.
Maybe Debbie and I just shake it out, but
Yeah.
some of these things we don't agree on, and they've been back way before my time, so I wish you guys would have some input and kind of moderate the whole thing, but I don't know, it just seems
Can
like
we
we
have
can
a,
never
s-
get through
can we,
this.
I know, can we have a special workshop day that's longer than, than our advertised? If we advertise that, the select board will be meeting for a special
Yeah, advertise it, yeah.
workshop to figure budget.
I mean, we can, it's just,
Can we get together,
I don't-
Danielle?
I don't know that-
Monday, or, I don't know what your schedule. No, you're not here on
I'm here on Monday.
the 11th, 9th, 10th. Just let me know when, and
I mean, it'd be easier if we could get these into like bite-sized, where they're,
If you
it's a
ever-
lot of information.
It is, but it's necessary because you're going back 5 years.
I know, that's the hard
Right.
part of it, is
So
like,
how do you bring it all together in one comprehensive sheet? I don't know. If you got a good idea, please let me know.
Well, but the challenge is we just went through 10 items on this list, and I don't know that we've resolved any of them.
No, we haven't.
Well, that's what I'm saying, so like, we need to
resolve one.
We need to
two.
resolve and then move forward. Like, we need to stop. We just need to, figure out what each of them are and then move forward after we resolve it. We can't just say, oh, we're running out of time. I mean, we got 15 minutes.
If you want me to make a list of every single question, 1 through 50, if I have to, you guys can look at it ahead of time. I just don't know how you're gonna review the information other than looking at these sheets. I don't know how to consolidate it any better than these few sheets.
and you going back
She's
through
got,
it, so.
her figures, I have mine, she understands hers, I understand mine. I've tried putting both of them together and come up with some sort of list, the ones that we at least agree on and the ones that have questions, but I don't know what else to do with this.
But, so the 20,000 and the 40,000, we resolved those today.
Yeah, so all the Bartlett Dell ones I can do.
Okay. 47, 87, 42, new cemetery reserve.
No.
There's a carryover. We're not doing that. So
We're not
we
doing
resolved
that.
one.
Right,
And we resolved the one for September 24th. That one is, we know that's good.
September 24th one.
Do you want to write in
TM,
what
the new cemetery reserve.
We'll do that one, okay.
That one we're doing.
And Bartlett Dell.
Yep, so we need a transfer sheet for that one, obviously, but
Okay, and that's another question. Okay, this was voted at town meeting.
yep.
Are you going to sign off on a transfer sheet, just giving the absolute okay to do it, or are we just gonna move forward because it was voted and approved on? And
I think we
no-
should, it's one of those things I think we need
Yeah.
to sign because it needs a
About questions?
memorialization of the fact that it was done.
Okay, so the ones with check marks that we resolved, we'll do
Yeah.
a sheet for Monday, at least get those off the
get those
list.
off the list.
Yep.
We do agree on the September 24, the 2024 town meeting, sidewalk reserve, fire truck reserve, Sockeye Rescue Fund, reval, storm damage, wipe that one right out, that needs some discussion.
Storm damage, wipe it out?
It's gonna have to,
We need to talk about
we need to talk about
Okay.
it. New
it.
cemetery
Municipal
reserve,
building reserve, we're good?
we're good with that. Those
Bartlett,
are
we're good?
straightforward, just, that hasn't been done yet.
No, but we don't need to talk about it anymore.
Nope.
Okay.
And your ARPA,
And then ARPA, we can, so,
yep,
alright. So,
So,
rescue reserve, this one seems like it's easy to fix. Not rescue streetlights. What are we doing
Correct.
with this?
that's it.
It needs to be removed from rescue, the 987 needs to be removed from rescue and transferred to lights.
But that's in a revenue account. You gave a revenue number for that one, that's why I didn't understand it.
Because I thought it was a reserve. For some reason, I thought it was reserve, and I don't know why, I thought it was a reserve, and so took it, there was a request to take it out of reserve and put it into the budget. And then I discovered, no, it didn't belong there, and that's why I'm asking to have the money put back into reserve, and the lights have to be charged, which I believe I've already done that entry.
There's a negative 987.58 in the rescue reserve revenue account.
Yeah, and that needs to come out. And it,
how can it if
that
it's
comes
negative?
out, when you use a reserve, Danielle, you have to put it into the budget and also into the revenue, so you balance.
Exactly,
You
and that's the
understand that?
problem, because
Yeah.
those revenues do not match what's in bank.
Right,
Right,
because they haven't been done, right.
right. That's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Every single revenue account doesn't match anything, so I just,
So this 987.58 should have been charged to lights and it was
Yes.
charged to the reserve.
Yes.
in the revenue account.
In the revenue account? Or is she put an R there because it's reserve?
That's the account number, revenue.
Okay.
R15 is a revenue account.
Yeah.
And right
That
now
would
it
be
says-
where it's deposited.
So this is an expense or this is an income?
It's being transferred from the reserve account into the general fund account.
But it's already a negative.
Yeah, how can you do that if it's already a negative?
What do you mean a negative?
If you go into that account, it says negative 987.58 or whatever.
Well, that is the one that I was working on, Danielle, and I can't go any further.
Yeah, because Deb,
I
we're
know,
not gonna
just
go
a
there.
minute, just a minute.
So, okay, I do not understand why there's a negative balance. Why is there a negative balance?
Because of an entry that went wrong, and I tried to fix it and I couldn't,
If
because
you-
I was stopped.
If you go into printing and revenue detail account, but you have to go back to your archive, it's not the current budget year, you select 2023,
Mm-hmm.
go to printing, go to revenue detail, and look at that number.
20. What year? 20, I'm only
So
getting.
what needs to be done to
That
correct?
needs to
Yeah.
be reversed.
It needs to be reversed.
Okay, can you do that?
Yeah. Can. So go to your trio revenue detail.
Right here?
Nope, go down. So you're selecting one. And process. And hit process again. Oh, you're in the wrong fiscal year.
Okay, this is 23.
Yep, so you have to close out your windows, and I'll just show you so you can use this. Yep, close out, because it won't let you.
Closes too?
Yep.
Okay.
You have to close out all your tabs before you switch years.
Okay.
It's the most annoying thing ever.
Okay.
So CGL year current,
Yep.
Nope.
Nope, sorry. Okay.
click. Oh, see, you opened another tab. I was just showing her how to do the.
Okay,
Yeah.
Okay, close out of that. Do that
now
again.
go. What does GL stand for?
General ledger year.
Okay.
So hit 2023. Go to your drop down. Yep. Hit 2023. Process. It's gonna come up red, because it's just letting you know you're in the archive. Go to printing. Detail reports. Goes down, scroll down. Revenue detail. Alright,
Process or
you
drop?
gotta select something, so trio revenue detail.
Jesus.
Process.
How did you like learn all this stuff?
Process. Okay, so C15,
Mm-hmm.
we're looking for R15. So open up 15, open up 01, and go down to 4092. And I'll show you exactly what we're looking at.
4092 is
Excuse me, 4083.
comprehensive. Elijah Fox Fund.
Rescue 86.
Okay, drop
4086,
down.
Yep. Go down and go
Right
down.
here, 987.
Oh, go down. Yep.
Okay,
Negative.
so negative.
But these are all. It's been switched around
So many
much.
times. Oh, is that what you meant by you were trying to fix that?
And I got mixed up with the C's, and to get a new C corrections, and it wasn't going the way I thought, and I couldn't find any detail on it, so I was working on it, and then I got stopped.
Okay, so you just need to reverse that and then we're good?
It'll be at 0. Yep.
Okay.
But I don't know what to do with it. Go to streetlights, I guess.
I think I've done that entry, Daniel.
So you did the entry, but you didn't reverse it.
I just did one entry, and then I got stopped.
Oh,
So it's gotta be reversed and it's gotta
Okay.
be, and it
So
may be at
reverse it out
streetlights.
of the revenue account,
Yep.
double check that it's in the expense account, and then we're good. That sounds. Yes? You're the one I need to say yes.
Yeah.
I didn't believe that, but I'll take it. All right. 6 minutes.
yeah. We're not. I might as well just get out of here. So
Everything else seems to be ARPA reserves.
ARPA. We have two
And then
totally different
ARPA
figures on
reserves,
that,
storm
so.
damage, road rescue.
Road reserve.
Road reserve. Explain it to me like I'm a 4-year-old. So 140, 977, 87 was what was transferred.
That was transferred in Trio and transferred in the bank because the select board signed off on it.
Okay.
It was an old transfer. That didn't get done.
But it's done now.
The 140 got reversed in Trio
Okay.
and 210 was entered.
And 210 was entered.
That's right, and then there was that balance of 90, of 69.9, right, to bring it up to 210?
That's what I want to do.
Okay,
But I don't understand the 210, that's why I was looking to Debbie. Because
Right.
Debbie says it needs to be at 210. We did 140 in Trio, 140 in the bank, and we were happy. But going back at it, 140 got reversed, and then 210 got entered. So
I had the 71, 931, 27 in there, in that figure also.
which I don't know what it is.
That's
Where's
the
that?
one you
Yeah.
said that the board said not to do.
Right, so that's another
Yeah.
entry, big number, that was done in Trio and not in the bank, so that's where we stand on that.
and we don't know, have any clue like why these numbers are there.
I
That's,
know what that number is.
what is it?
I was gonna say.
It's the budget in the expense and what is left at the June 30th, is that was the balance that was left in that budget at 6:30,
And what budget?
in the fiscal budget, in the 21, 22 fiscal budget.
For roads?
Yes.
So you're saying that's a balance that wasn't expended, that needed to be transferred into the reserve?
It needs to be transferred to the yes. Yes.
So
It
your
was
town,
supposed to go into reserve.
so the
yes.
town report should say that 71 figure?
I would have to look, Daniel, I think I have it right here.
Not done, should go to reserves.
So basically it's the unexpended road money.
Yes.
Okay, now we're getting somewhere. For 22, 23?
No, that would have been for, 21, 22.
See, okay,
Yeah.
I don't have that.
I got it here.
Yeah, you have it in 22, 23.
Oh, you got it?
Well, it's this sheet right here, right?
Oh, no, that's what, no.
When you look at
That's
this.
just her Excel sheet, I'm looking at
Okay,
what was left over. We can just, at least we got our list dwindled down to less, and then we'll focus on the more complicated ones. ARPA's gonna be the big one, so,
okay.
So, Monday,
Monday, 2:30?
2:30.
Sure.
No, Monday, 4:30.
Monday, 4:30, that's right.
So Monday at 4:30, we'll pick back up. We'll go through ARPA.
Yep.
We'll just keep chipping away at it. That's the only way we're gonna
That's
get
the only
there.
way we're
Yeah,
gonna get it.
yep,
we
and
just
like
all
I
need to
said,
talk
I
about
don't-
it, because they're
And
big money
it's-
moves.
Yeah, and if we
just
need,
gotta figure it out, and if you find more, add it to the list.
Right,
Take off the stuff that we figure out, add the stuff that we have new, and then we can keep walking forward. And then we'll slowly get there, and, but yeah.
thank you.
Well,
Want me to keep a copy?
yes, not this.
Yeah. Can you tell them that,
That's
please?
fine, yeah, the town report is leftovers, so.
The 71,000 is okay, but
21, 22,
the board said not to, but they should have not done
well,
that.
if, just, whatever.
Yeah.
We'll look at it.
Got it here.
and then you're gonna do all the reserve transfers for this past year?
That we just agreed to?
The municipal building,
Yeah,
town reval, fire truck, Sockview rescue, sidewalk. Okay, I can check that off my thing that I was looking at.
I can send a updated list too.
Nope, you're good, as long as those get done. I just noticed,
Yep.
I was looking at something else and I noticed that none of those had moved, so.
All
If
right.
you're doing that, I will check that off my list.
Perfect.
All right,
Okay, thank you, thank you.
thank you.
Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. So, have you like wound yourself around Trio enough to like, just getting to what she just showed me was like, you know,
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
into the archives of,
yep.
yeah,
Yeah, I've seen how to do that. It's tricky at best.
yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, I can do it,
yeah.
yeah, but it's interesting. It's very interesting.
7.
All right,
All right, it's 4 o'clock, so,
you're here for a little while.
yeah, about a half hour. I got softball tonight, so
Okay.
I'll shut off the recording. Thank you, everybody.
See you Monday.
Supplemental.
For Sylvan Therapeutics?
Yes.
Okay. Today's the 5th. And this is a copy, the same, they're all the
Yes,
same
they
thing?
are, They are. And you need 4 copies, do you?
I don't think we do, but we'll see. 4 p.m. JL. They all go together, okay?
Okay, great.
Alrighty.
Thank you so much.
All right.
You know, he's a real gentleman. Dick Waldron.
I know him.
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
He's a good man.
He's what?
Good man.
Yep.
And so we have to, he's one on the short list for to sit in for NISA.
Oh, okay.
What do you think? I mean,
Yeah. Have you talked to him?
yes, I have.
And is he interested?
He said that he would be.
I think, I didn't, what about, Lynn Sudlow?
She would love to have her too.
Yep.
We'd love to have Judy.
Yep.
But they both said Jen, and so that's where.
Oh,
B
that's
went.
where it comes from.
That's, it was
Oh,
really
okay.
focused on you.
Okay.
So she's really bummed.
Well, I am too. I am too.
You know, but we
I-
understand totally.
Yep.
But we don't miss out this, but B, she's gonna be here next week, and
That's
she
what
has
she's-
appointments all over the state.
Right, right, so.
And
I-
New York City.
Right, and I would hate to see it not continue to happen
Yeah,
because
yeah.
of the, oh yeah, no, Dick is, yeah, I know him, known him for a long, long time, and I think, know that his wife just passed away or something.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, yeah. Probably would appreciate that, the ability to
Yeah.
contribute something, yeah,
Okay,
Yeah.
so I'll tell B.
yep,
And, but Lynn and Judy, they're like, oh, we got so much going on.
And then they directed me totally to you, everyone did. And I was like, yeah, if we could get her, yeah.
Yeah.
But like, she isn't busy?
Yeah, Judy and Lynn are busy too, I do know
Yeah.
that, so, yeah.
Okay, thanks a
Okay,
lot.
yeah, take care. Yeah, that's nice.
And it's not done yet.
Hi, B.
Are we still being